Hello, Andrew. This is Heather Newton, reviewing your entry in the Social Deduction Game Design Challenge, Reef Renegades. Let's first start off by looking at the imagery above the fold on your shop page. And I will say overall that this game really stands out with its art and graphic design. The art is really professionally done, as is the graphic design, and I could see this showing up on a game store shelf. It seems like it would fit right in with other professionally published games that you see in a game store as far as the graphic design is concerned. So I really congratulate you on a job well done. Whether you were doing it yourself or you have somebody on your team that's helping you, the graphic design is great. And I would say, though, that for the header image on your website, although I like this image, I don't think it's the best header image you could use, especially given all the options that you have with a lot of great art in this game. I think that really this image, the background of this image, would be a better hero image for a shop page. Just cutting off, not using the words, just using only the background of this image, make it large, fill out the whole space, and then for the logo, only take the lettering and make that a transparent background PNG, and it'll be superimposed over this larger image. And I think that would be more eye-catching. This image is a nice image, but it is, I think, better suited to the action shots at the bottom or potentially embedded in your description. But it has a lot of white space, and I'd rather see this whole thing filled with, beautiful, rich color like you have access to in this project. So let's move on for the cool factors and talk about those. I think that this fun ocean theme cool factor is more along the lines of the kind of thing that I would want to see in cool factors. It's something that's very specifically true of your game. It's something that if I played your game, I would remember about your game. Whereas quick and easy to learn and play is not unique to this game. Why would I remember this game above other games that are quick and easy to learn to play? And the same with the variable win condition. I'm not sure that is even necessarily something that anyone is seeking, or I'm not sure why I am why you're thinking shoppers are likely to be excited about that. I think that I hear people asking for multiple paths to victory more than I hear them saying they want a lot of different things that could trigger the end of the game. Multiple paths to victory, of course, are different. It means there's different strategies to try and see how they work out, and there's not only one strategy that could help them win. But anyway, I think that you could think of some things that are more specifically memorable about this game that you could add to the cool factors in place of these more generic statements. And then for the description, I think that you've done a good job of being brief and talking about the overall point of the game. It's pretty easy to read. I would add maybe some headers to, like some larger font headings right before a couple of these paragraphs. Say like maybe story could be a good heading for this, and general gameplay or gameplay overview or something like that. I did notice that there's kind of an awkwardly worded sentence here. You're saying secretly twice, and you only need to say it, in one place or the other, instead of being repetitive there. But like I said before, you have a lot of nice looking artwork, so you could embed it here, show some of the cards closer to the top instead of only putting them in the action shots at the bottom. Let's see if we have the small stout box, and it's a really beautifully designed box with really rich, pretty art on all sides. And I see that you have put the name of the game on all sides, so no matter which way somebody places it on the shelf, they can read and see what it is. One thing that I do like to see on the outside of the box, sometimes not necessarily on the side, but not necessarily on every side, but I like to see the stats for the game, like these, written somewhere really easy to see on the outside of the box. So when I'm trying to decide whether or not a game fits in with the group of people that I'm playing with, I can quickly see how many players the game plays and how long it's going to take and all that sort of thing. Let's move down to your action shots. These are beautiful, like really good, also good photography, good product photography. It's well lit and looks really nice, and the characters are adorable. Yep, very good. This is the kind of thing that I want to see as an action shot, where I have actual photographs of the game being played, how it's laid out, rather than, just something that you had, some image that you had available that you dropped in here. These are thought out, and they show off the way the game's set up, what it looks like to play it, and everything like that. So you did a good job there. Now let's go over and look at the rule book. And I like, that you have the stats really clearly on the cover. This is a really nice cover. Again, looks really professionally done. Now you do have headings and stuff here. I think you did a good job the way the contents are both pictured, named, and the count for all of the pieces is listed here too. That helps people when they're opening the box and looking at the rules really quickly make sure they have all the pieces they're supposed to have, so that's great and helpful. We have a good setup diagram here with all the pieces shown and how they relate to each other. That's great. The objective is probably something that you're going to need to rewrite because it feels like it sort of contradicts the actual way you win, because there are many different ways you win. I don't know if there should be so many different ways that you win. I find that part of the rules confusing to parse, and I think it would be more comfortable to play it and teach it if that part could somehow be made more straightforward. So anyway, I'll keep kind of scrolling down until we get to the bottom though. And all the different things you can do. Game end. And then, like I said, winning the game is quite a long statement here, right? So there are some other things that you can do to win than what you set as the objective. So that might need to be reworked. And you point out that you have special abilities, but you don't have examples of what they are. And so I'm not sure if this is the best place to say something about the special abilities sort of as an afterthought. That feels like something that would go closer to setup, and or be listed maybe among the things that you can do on your turn. I'm not sure what all the special abilities are, if they're all free actions or not, but maybe you could insert that somehow in there. So with this game, I really was torn about it because, like I said, it's very professionally done. It feels like a finished product. It feels clear that a lot of work has been put into like building the shop page, building the whole thing as a product, lots of great art and all of that. But this is primarily a game design competition and not a graphic design or art competition, even though graphic design and art definitely help make people interested to play a game. Graphic design often makes it easier to understand and learn a game when you have good diagrams and the card layout is good and intuitive. That all helps a ton, and so it definitely plays in, but I don't want it to be when it's the best thing about the game, then as far as a game design contest goes, another game that has better written rules, better developed rules, and that sort of thing needs to float above a game like that. So I was really bummed not to be able to pick this one as a finalist because it's so finished looking and such a good accomplishment as it stands. But the gameplay itself feels like it needs more playtesting and more development. There are a lot of different concerns I have, like what I mentioned before, the convoluted explanation of what you have to do to win. I just can imagine feeling just really uneasy, nervous, and stressed out the whole time I'm playing this because I just feel like I don't know what my goal is or which thing I should do. It sounds like even the part of the point is that you don't even know for sure if there's anybody opposed to you. Because you, I think, just shuffle the loyalty cards up and deal them out. And if there are fewer people playing than there are of one color of card, it's possible the whole one half of the deck is set aside. Like all the red cards are not even in. I think that's a possibility. And you'd be playing all as blue and trying to figure out who's red and nobody's red. And that sounds like kind of interesting, but it also sounds frustrating. Like I would just, and I guess it's not clear to me either. You don't say explicitly if you're allowed to say, "Hey, I'm on the red team." You're not allowed to show your card, but are you picturing people will claim what they are? I guess yes, because well, here's something I'm really confused about with the rules is that I think that this preference card, I think it's a blue card, meaning you're on the blue team. And then it says you can do something special if you interact with a card that has a matching symbol on it. Like this card would be in the grid, your loyalty blue. So I guess by taking the special action that you're allowed to take, you're claiming that you're blue. But are you supposed to be able to do that whether or not you're blue? Can you, like, I don't see any rules about calling, like, saying that you think somebody's lying about taking that special action and they're not allowed to show their card. So how do I know whether or not they're supposed to get that special bonus for matching the symbol? And I guess I don't ever want to do that. I don't know. I don't know when I'd want to use it without cheating. I guess maybe it's the idea is that it's sort of a game of chicken, like who's the first person who's gonna tip their hand and say that they're blue, but they could be lying. Are they supposed to be allowed to lie? I'm confused. So these kind of things made me feel really nervous about teaching this game. Like I just couldn't feel confident that I'd be able to explain it and get people excited to play it. And there were other games in the contest that did feel like they'd be straightforward to teach and I could picture how they would play out. I could picture them working. Whereas there's things about these rules that feel really stressful to me, especially stressful to teach them and not feeling sure that I even understand them by reading these rules. So there is a service through the Game Crafter for sanity testing, which might be a really good thing for you to try to get maybe more pointed questions about developing. Maybe you can take what I've said here, write up a little bit more of an explanation, and get a sanity test to help you word it better. You might also benefit, I think, from more playtesting events such as protospiels or things like that. I'm not sure exactly where you're located or what you can make it to, but sometimes you can even find local designer groups, meetups and stuff like that you can go playtest. And I think playtesting with other designers would get you some good suggestions for things that could be smoothed out, more so than playtesting with people who just play games but haven't had enough experience to be able to have insight for like suggestions how to smooth things out. And they'll just tell you that that was fun because they don't have any ideas to share with you. And sometimes they'll even say that even if they didn't actually think it was fun, just because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So, and of course, it's not fun to give people less than perfectly positive feedback, but I tend to do that whenever I'm looking over a game because I don't think it actually serves you very well to only have good things said about your game and not have a chance to learn what you can do to improve. So this one was, again, this was a semi-finalist in the Social Deduction Challenge and didn't quite make the finals. I was really, really looking to be able to play it because it looks so pretty, and it feels like it would be relaxing, and, well, not relaxing, but like enjoyable, sort of aspirational to play because of all the pretty art. It is fun just to have nice components and nice art, of course, when you're playing a game, but it also needs to be backed up with like really solid, well thought out, well developed rules. So that's the main place that I'd recommend that you focus on, and I'm hoping that you will keep playtesting and developing, and that we'll eventually see this one get published. Hey there, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description for more information and links to helpful resources. Some links give me a commission if you choose to buy, and I sure do appreciate the support. Thanks again, and see you in the next video!